Hello everyone, in this video we're taking a look at the ViFly ToothStor. A nice little microcharger is the short of it. It works just as you would expect, and it's exactly the same size as the WhoopStor, another micro or 1S style of battery charger. Exactly the same size. So small. And if you're tracking, there's been a lot of 2-inch 2S micros that came out finally. And so this pairs up pretty nicely if you like to fly these things, whether you charge at home like I do or if you go out to the field, because it's got 3 inputs. We have our XT60, our USB-C, and our barrel connector. If we're using USB-C on this charger, as well as the WhoopStor 3, it's best to use a wall or a brick that plugs into the wall so you can get the input power. PD3 is what's recommended. We'll look at those specs in just a second. But I primarily use this right here at my desk. And I also use the power from my soldering iron plugged directly into the barrel connector on this. It works quite well. As you can see here, that top line kind of inputs the barrel connector and the USB-C and the XT60. But pay attention to that input voltage. It needs to range from 10 volts all the way up to 26 volts. So you can see the rest of the specs there. These are not independent channels, so you can't storage charge on one and regular charge on another. You have to do all the same function on all the same batteries to all the same voltage, and we'll look at that next. This kind of highlights the screen size difference between the WhoopStor and the ToothStor. Quite a bit bigger display here on the ToothStor, which is a nice thing, because there's a little bit more information to display. So across the top here, we've got our charging rate, how many amps we're putting into the battery. We have our top cell mount, the amount we're going to charge to, or the voltage we're going to charge to, and we have our input power, which I have it plugged in off screen, of course, and then our buttons across the top bottom here. So I almost said the dot up again, but it does have a beep, and you've long pressed this and hold it down, it beeps at you and it gives that little symbol. And then when it doesn't beep and it gives that symbol with a little X, a little speaker with an X, means you've turned that off. You can set the voltage with that same button with short presses. High voltage, storage voltage at 3.80 and storage voltage at 3.85. Again, it's going to do the same on all 4 ports. And then we've got our start stop button over here with short press. We'll just start, which we can't do just yet. We don't have batteries plugged in. And then we can set the current. As you can see, it goes all the way up to 1.5 amps. So you can get 1C charging on this up to, that size of battery, but typically I'm using smaller batteries, but in this particular case I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set it all the way back down to just 0.5. As you can see here, I've got different sizes of batteries plugged in, and when it comes to your charging rate, I would always recommend using the smallest size charging rate for your smallest battery. Like in this particular case, 1C would be 0.3. I'm a little bit above that, but I'll only do that during this sort of demonstration period. I've also got a big battery back here, a goggle battery, and then I've got 550, and I think this is a 550 as well. But if we zoom into the display, we can see now it shows us our current state of the batteries at their voltage in each cell via our balance lead. So I've got 2 batteries that are nearly charged and 2 batteries that are, it looks like shortly below storage voltage. So I've currently got it set to storage at 3.85. If I long press, we'll see some additional information pop up on screen. Now we're charging or discharging, depending upon the case of the particular battery, and you can see it flashes here on screen. We get the orange sun over here, and then we get the, I guess you'd call that a red sun over there. So it's charging over on these ports and it's discharging over here on these ports. Again, it does give us the voltage the batteries are at and the voltage by individual cells of each battery, and then it tells us how many milliamp hour it's put back into the battery as well. One thing I have not tested is the BT30 ports on these, and I don't have any of those batteries. And I intentionally did not buy any of those batteries because I don't understand why we need another connector for 2S batteries. We've been using XT30 for a long time. Why do we need BT 3.0? Is that so Beta FPV can design some specific quad and then sell those people that buy that quad the batteries? I have a problem with that. We've already seen, and I didn't rant about it with the Defender series from iFlight, how they have a proprietary battery on those. And I get those sorts of designs. It fits their motif. Thankfully, well, I think you do have to buy that little charging adapter board, but I thought you got one with the kit as well. But I'm a little bit concerned about this development of BT 3.0, and it's hard for me to say, so I'm going to mess that up. But I just don't understand why we need it. Now, was ViFly commissioned by Beta FPV to make this charger? Maybe. Because when I look on the Beta FPV website, I see the battery connectors, I see a tester so you can check the voltage on the batteries. I see batteries, and I see the Cetus X. So they must have some sort of, brick USB charger that does BT 3.0. I'm guessing. So maybe that's why. I mean, I don't have a problem with this product. I'll just use the balance lead as I have been using it. But I just, the idea that we have BT 3.0, that bothers me and it concerns me a little bit, because XT30 works just fine. And the weight difference has got to be really, really tiny. You can buy a bag of XT30s for $5 or something like that and get 10 or 20 of them. Depends on where you buy them. You might even get 50. But we know Beta FPV is going to charge a premium for those BT 3.0. And they've already got one product, the Cetus X, that come out with it. So, I don't know. Tell me what your thoughts. Am I missing something about that? But otherwise, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions about the ToothStor from ViFly, which I think is a great little product and one I'm going to continue to use, please let me know in the comments section below. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.